For the first time in Dr. Stone's history, we truly are at a disadvantage, not just because of physical force or anything like that, but we're also at a scientific disadvantage, which that's been Senku's bread and butter, is that no matter what he's gone up against, even against impossible odds, science has always been on his side. And while currently Dr. Zeno thinks, we have to go kill Dr. Taiju, at the end of the day, this is Project Assassinate Senku, and that is the goal. And everyone else, it doesn't matter if they're low-level scientists, they could use the manpower. We have one advantage, which is we have revival fluid. They apparently have never done so. So all the people who are currently awake in this kingdom of science did so by what Senku did, seemingly, keeping the mind active for thousands of years. We don't exactly know the timeline. I still assume they got awake a little bit because, Senku, with where the acid was dripping on him, it's entirely possible they might have been able to do it a little quicker if they had a little more exposure. But the fact remains, they confirm they have a fully operating factory that mass produces gunpowder. They have unlimited ammo. They are clearly more ahead than where we are. Sure, of course, Senku had the Stone Wars and different things that set him back. But it doesn't change the fact that we're at a disadvantage. And the one thing that I really don't know how they're going to overcome is the gunfire that they're going to have to deal with. Yeah, we have a plane that we can fight back, and yeah, we can have a little dogfight in the sky, but it doesn't change the fact that unless we win this current attack and steal more weapons, they're kind of screwed. Because I don't think they have rockets and shit, but they clearly got the artillery, and machine guns alone are going to be enough to absolutely obliterate their boat. It's frightening. This is the biggest disadvantage they've ever had, and Project Assassinate Senku with this level of disadvantage is insane to me. It's funny though, they have so much corn and have no idea that they literally are sitting on a minefield of revival juice. This is about to be the greatest Dr. Stone season, and it's not even gonna come close to anything else. Full live reactions over on Patreon though, if you want to see my full thoughts and support my work, it's over there exclusively. This is so interesting because there's definitely points I see them hitting. Maybe not necessarily this core, but if we're gonna have 3 cores total to finish up Dr. Stone, you can't introduce a character to this magnitude of intelligence and ferocity and not have Senku and him at least work together briefly on something. Now, maybe not necessarily right away, but eventually. Because if Senku's whole goal, too, is to stop Y-Man and go to the moon, like, that's his big thing, right? And if, can Senku do it by himself? Probably, but it probably will go a lot quicker if we work with someone like this. But my question would be, we're going to go one of two ways. Either a character like this has to die, which would be a big turning point for Dr. Stone's story, or we find a way to work together. Because currently this man is so calculated to the point that he's like, I'm going to kill the leader. The leader needs to go. But all the other smaller fry, yeah, I could use you. You're smart, you probably, I don't expect you're going to be able to overstep on my toes or anything like that, but we could use the manpower. I don't know what we could do to get over, I guess the one thing that would make sense to me is if when they eventually come face to face in whatever battle that's going to look like, if there's enough similarities, because you could assume Zeno has less of a moral compass than Senku, which makes sense. I mean, he is seemingly older than Senku and also probably has a more nihilistic viewpoint of the world than Senku does. Senku has a lot more of an opportunist and hopeful viewpoint, I think. But if there's enough similarities that he realizes that this kid is actually going to be more of a benefit to me, and Senku can feel the same. This isn't the first time characters have tried to kill Senku. It's not going to be insane to think that Senku could find a way to work with someone like this. Tsukasa enters the chat. The people behind Tsukasa enters the chat, right? We are working with people who quite literally wanted our head on a stake at multiple points. The difference is they didn't have an army of guns, so it's a little concerning. But it's wild, man, because we are, of course, in the endgame. You want this to be the biggest threat, potentially. Granted, this might not even be the biggest threat. Whatever Y-Man might turn out to be could arguably be even worse than this. Who the hell knows what we're going to deal with there? But the idea of stumbling upon a group that are this complex, this insane, it's scary. We already probably have a good idea of what they're going to do. They're going to have a small scale boat that's fast that can invade our boat with another plane, swooping down to do gunfire. Obviously, we're building the runway. We're going to have a little dogfight in the sky, so that should take care of that, hopefully. But I mean, they definitely are going to have more experience, because even if you put someone who knows how to fly, which I think we all know who they're hinting at is going to do it, he hasn't been flying up until this point for how many years, right? This is people who have been doing it days in, days and days for, I don't know, a year, let's just say, right? So we're already at a disadvantage there, even if we can match their quality. They're gonna come in with goddamn machine guns. Like, it's not looking good. Of course, we have our scout team with our little assassin squad, Suika being the most deadly of them all, going with them. So, of course, we got that going. It's just, there's a lot of shit happening. And it's just, the more I'm seeing of this season, the more I'm saying there's no way Dr. Stone is doing this. Like, that's my general reaction. Like, that's how it came back swinging, and that's how they have me feeling now 5 weeks into, core 1 of season 4. Dr. Stone has been, since it started up, one of the most fresh takes in the shonen department. And while I still firmly believe season 1 of Dr. Stone is a masterpiece, it's insane to think that that is actually the weakest part of Dr. Stone. I think you could probably make an argument season 2 and 3 can be interchangeable of which one's better. And depending on a rewatch, I might flip my tune. But in general, I think it's safe to say the show has steadily improved. And the anime has remained consistent from the start. I still highly disagree with people who think that Dr. Stone is an underproduced anime. Dr. Stone has a style that is different than a lot of modern anime, but they have remained consistent from season 1's production value all the way now up to here. They do a lot, and I think it goes underappreciated. But it's nice that I think the dedicated fans who have been with this one since 2019, 2020, in that area, have just, loved this for arguably justifiable reasons. It's frightening. It's kind of hilarious that Dr. Taiju pulled it off. I don't think he needed to dress up given it was a phone call, but gotta get in character, I suppose. The bright side is they don't have revival fluid, meaning we outnumber them. But outnumbering people who have machine guns doesn't mean a whole lot, unless we also get machine guns, which I thought maybe they had, given that they have their plane, but it seems like most likely the guns attached to the planes, I think. I don't know. It's getting exciting, but equally terrifying with Project Assassinate Dr. Taiju, who will quickly turn into Dr. Assassinate Senku. Shit. Let me know your thoughts down below, though, whether you've been anticipating this arc because you're a fan of that manga, or if you're anime original like myself. Let me know what you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we've got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Samuel 1989, Andrea Ramirez, Gamer Guide, Kamozo Beat, Oracle, Link, and we also have Ryan Lee. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.